Alright guys, the next hard request, we're doing Lynyrd Skynyrd. All I can do is write about it. I'm a big Skynyrd fan, but this is not one that I really know that well. So got some nice piano parts in it. This is the live acoustic version. If you search YouTube and you do a search for Lynyrd Skynyrd, all I can do is write about it acoustic, then you'll find it and you can follow along and learn this piano solo. But let me play this for you first. The piano part starts about a minute 40 into it, and it sounds like this. Let me start that again. Follows that kind of same form with different chords later on, but a lot of what I call country thirds, and some people call it slip note style playing, but I call it a country third because you always hear that in country music. On piano, if you don't know how to do it, it's really pretty simple. You take your chord that you're on, like a C chord, for example, C, E, G, root position. Root position just means a C is on the bottom. The name of the chord is on the bottom, is what that means, root position. And we're going to use the top two notes here, the E and the G, and the note one step down from this one, the D, and we're going to flip it up to the E, like that. And you get that sound. So I'm playing the D and the G real quickly, or playing the D quickly and slipping it to the E. Okay? And you get that sound. And you can do that on any chord. You can do it on a G chord, G, B, D. Remember to count for your sharps, like if you do a D chord, a D major, there's F sharp in that middle to make it a major chord. And you do E to F sharp. Slip it like that. So it'd be good practice if you're not used to doing that. Just pick a chord out. Kind of drop my wrist as I come down on it. Makes it easier. And then just kind of go up the white keys. Alright, you'll get used to me doing it in no time. Alright, now this is also something where there's a lot of, I almost said dead time, but there's a lot of space there because you have all the other instruments playing, and when you're playing a piano solo with other instruments, they kind of take care of some of the stuff the left hand might do if you were playing by yourself. You got bass and drums and rhythm guitar, and so sometimes you don't have to play as much with left hand and filling in rhythms and that sort of thing. But if you're playing by yourself, you have to do that. So I'm going to kind of show you what to do to fill in if you're playing by yourself and not with the recording or anything. Okay? But first, let's just learn the chords and learn the solo, and then we'll learn how to do that kind of vamping, filling in when there's space in there. So we're going to have, let's see, 3 chords at least on this board. Alright? And so on left hand, I have one letter, but we want to do an octave. C octave. And you can also put that fifth in the middle. Now, fifth falls naturally under that pointer finger. If you have a C octave, and you have the G's the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright? So you have that. You can add in there. Now on the G, we're going to do a G octave, and you can also put the fifth in there, which would be a D. Alright? And then the left hand is a D there. Now the left hand is kind of inaudible in this, so I'm sure he's probably playing something on the left hand, but you can't really hear it because of the other instruments. So we're going to, kind of try to fill that in, fill in the blanks. D octave, A in the middle. Alright? So those are our 3 chords we're going to be using on this board. And for right now, we're just going to play the octave. And sometimes I use the 5th, especially when I'm up higher in the middle register or something. But let's start with the octave on the C left hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is on count 1. And again, about 1:40 into the song, we're going to play our C octave. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so this C and this C is count 1, 2, and count 3. So you want to make your little roll here just a little bit ahead of that beat so that you land on your thumb on the beat. And that's a rule that I kind of find in arpeggiating and piano playing, is the last note you play, whether you're rolling up or rolling down, is the last note is the one that you want to end up on the beat. Alright, 1, 2, 3, and then we have that. Alright, so we're going to be up way high for this. G, E, D, C, so that's kind of a 5-finger pattern. G, E, D, C, so we're just leaving out the F. We're doing the roll. Now, you don't... it's not really in a certain beat or time. You just... and kind of like drumming your fingers on a desk, except we're going this way, top to bottom. Alright, so let's do that far. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to have, excuse me, early in the morning, still don't have my voice left. Middle C, and then we're going to have our country third that we were talking about, G and D together. And then we flip it to E, and then we go to G and D, and then G and C. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3. Now, of course, we're totally welcome and encouraged to keep playing that C octave in here. Alright? So, 1, 2, 3. Definitely you can play it again here. There, on that beat. But you just kind of fill in the gaps with that left hand. Let's do it again. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I played it all throughout. Just kind of in the gaps. 1, 2. Okay, now we go to this. 1. G octave on the left hand, and then we have B, D, G on the right hand. Oh, my allergies are killing me today. B, D, G together with the G octave, and then ba, ba, ba. So that's G, A, B. And then here, A, D, F sharp, A. Alright, if that's too difficult for you, just go... you can do any form of a D chord, it would be fine, as long as you play D, F sharp, A. Probably the easiest thing to do, which he does sometime later, is F sharp, A, and D. Or you could do A, D, F sharp. It doesn't matter, just as long as you play a D chord. But G, A, B. So I'm doing A, D, F sharp, A. And I'm using my 4th finger. Don't be afraid to use your 4th finger when you have a 4-note chord. Alright, and then we have F sharp and D together, a 6th, then move that 6th up to G and E, and then move it up to A and F, and then, oh, that sounds wrong going slow. You think, well, why isn't that F sharp? He just does an F, he just does a, right there, an F natural. When as the song is moving along, it'll sound just fine. Okay, so, B, D, G, and G octave in the left hand, and then G, A, B, ba, ba, ba. Alright, so kind of groups of 3, or groups of 4. Da, 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 dum, ba, da, da, dum. So let's start right here. Ready, go. 1, da, 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 da. And then, here we go. I forgot to mention, I always usually do this at the beginning of the video. The rest of it, I'm going to do the whole tutorial on the solo part will be finished on webpianoteacher.com. This is just the free part 1 that I put on YouTube. It's also a hired request. Someone hired me to do this one in great piece. But the rest of it's on webpianoteacher.com. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm on Facebook. Just do a Facebook search for Web Piano Teacher. You can find me and you can keep up with what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll do special offers and you won't know about those unless we're in contact on Facebook. Twitter, my name is Web Piano Teacher there if you want to get tweets for when I upload a new video or whatever I post. I have a blog that's on the site. If you go to webpianoteacher.com and click on the blog, I have quite a few articles that I've written about various things in music and piano, so check that out. Alright, back to the lesson. Let's start at the beginning and go thus far. Ready, go. 1. Okay, and again, when I'm adding those left hand, it's always in the gap. And I'm not playing it too loudly. And I don't always have to play the whole octave. I can just play the pinky or the thumb, okay, whatever suits me. Now, G, C, E. But if you're not used to doing that, a good way to start is just playing the octave. So don't beat yourself up about it if you're having trouble playing the right hand, left hand together. Just do the bare minimum. It'll still sound fine. G, C, E, left hand C octave. Now, this next chord is quite a bit later. You can't really tell that, so I'll put a little dash there. You hold on to that one for a while. 1, 2, 3, and again that's G, C, E, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's C, E, G, just an inversion of that C chord. And then we're going to do this again. Remember that? We did it right here. It's just up an octave. D and G together, flip it to E, back to D with a G, G, C. So, alright, so let's add on to the train. This is how I like to learn things. Learn a little bit, add the next link in the chain and just keep adding. And then eventually you got to have a new starting place because it gets too long. But here we go. Ready, go. 1. 2, 3. Alright, so B, D, G. Left hand on a G octave. Playing it down here. You can play it up here too. It's up to you. Now we're up high. D, G, B. Rolled up this time. So that's my little up arrow. Okay, if you see piano notation, you'll see a squiggly line there. So B, so D, G, B rolled up. Okay, and then A, G, and then A, D, F sharp. Okay, that's our D chord, just a different inversion. Alright, D octave. And then here's our country third on a D chord. Remember the F sharp because a D chord to be major has to have that F sharp, not F natural. Okay, so A on the top, E, F sharp, A and E. Okay, just like this, just on a different chord. Alright, so let's start right here. Ready, go. 1. I didn't roll it. Ready, go. 1. So let's add that on to our chain here. So beginning, ready, go. 1, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, so there's a lot of left hand to fill in there. So So that's going to be our country third on the C again, just like we've done 2 other times. So, alright, I won't explain that again. It's just like this one, just like this one. And then B, D, G with a G octave in the left hand. Alright, so this is going to be D on the top on the pinky every time. And then the bottom notes are going to go G, A, B. Okay, so 1. Of course, on the next board we'll have the D chord, and then I'll finish it on the website. But let's go through the whole thing now. Alright? And again, if you're having trouble vamping that left hand, just start with just the plain octave. And play just what I have here on the left hand until you get the right hand down. And then you can start trying that, to fill in there, fill in the gaps. Okay? And it's kind of like, when a child learns to talk. It's not, I can't sit down and explain to you, everything. I mean, I could, but you wouldn't really get it. Just like a child learns to speak, they just listen to you talk. You try to, say words that, they would be able to say, and eventually they just learn it and they get it on their own. You just kind of help them along, and that's really all I can do with you on this, on learning how to vamp on the left hand. If I went and showed you every little single thing, you really wouldn't learn how to do it in other songs. It's this where they say teach a person how to fish instead of just giving them a fish. So it's really valuable to do that. So as a teacher, I've always tried to show you how to do that. Alright, so let's do the whole thing now. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we'll give you a little hint on it. Bum, ba, ba, ba. Seems to be a rhythm I'm doing there. I had to actually look to see what I was doing, because once you start to be able to do that, you don't really realize what you're playing. You just kind of are filling in. I'm playing the octave 1, ba, ba, ba. Alright, so watch my left hand. I'll play the left hand louder than the right so you can hear what I'm doing on that left. Here we go. Ready, go. 1. Because normally on piano you're voicing the right hand. So I made the left hand louder there. And again, the left hand is not audible in this recording. He may not even be playing left hand, I don't know. But we have to come up with something to play if we're playing by ourselves in that left hand. So those are the chords. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will talk to you later.